What is going on, everybody? Luke here. So today we are going to be talking about balanced sales accumulator on ProfitProtectorPro, what it is and how I use it specifically in my business. In the previous short video that I'm doing, or did, I talked about the aggressive and how I use the aggressive option, but let's talk about balance. So balanced on this example here, it's just an example, don't sell this product anymore, no idea if it sells good or not, so you know. Obviously balance is here, balance sales accumulator, and what this actually does is it reprices your products, the algorithm reprices your products, so it is a good mixture between keeping profits higher, but also being competitive in the buy box. So where I mentioned the aggressive is pushing, it's more likely to pushing your price down to be aggressive to get you the buy box. This is a little less intense, just trying to maintain a little extra premium on your profit. So it's trying to keep your buy box a little higher. Yes, you may not get as many sales because you're not being as aggressive to push to that buy box, but you also, when you do make sales, are making more profit than you would on the aggressive. And so I use this mostly on my day-to-day products. And what does that mean? So anything that's real fast selling, really, you know, crazy selling, I would usually have some sort of aggressive option on because I'm looking to sell a lot of them. Yes, I may take a little bit less profit, but I make up for it for selling a lot of units. With balance, maybe it doesn't sell a huge amount of units. So maybe it only sells 10 a month, maybe it sells 20 or 1 a day or 2 a day. I'd say 1 or 2 a day is still going to be within my balance. So even at that 60 a month, I may look into it further and go, you know, is it worth maybe moving it to an aggressive stance? But that's a good thing about it. You never have an exact scenario. And obviously people that are selling out might think 60 is loads and they might want to try to adopt more of an aggressive stance. So it's not, there's no one way fits all, that even is how you say it. You just have to kind of go based on what you're doing, your business at the moment. So for me, 1 or 2 a day, you know, if it's doing 10 a day, then I'll probably look at the aggressive stance because obviously over a month that's going to be decent. But anything that sells, you know, 1 a day, a couple every so often, you know, here and there is kind of what I mean by that. Then I'll pretty much just leave it on default balance. The default is what I'd use, is that is balanced, and I'll just, anything that sells 30 to 60 a month, and I could change that depending on product seasonality. If the product becomes more popular over different times of the year, okay, I'll go ahead and change. But just to keep it, you know, easy on the soul, I'll keep most products on balance through the year. Definitely January to say sort of August, when obviously things aren't crazy. Yeah, that you have Valentine's Day and you have Easter and stuff, but yeah, most day-to-day products I'll pretty much keep on balance, just to try to maintain a little extra premium on the profit. I'm not worried about trying to push the volume because sometimes the volume just is not there during the year on certain products, and so why try to play around with it if, for example, it doesn't really need it. But again, it's not perfect strategy. You know, for example, there are a lot of products that might sell really good volume if I was being more aggressive. Yeah, and so I do play around with the balance and aggressive at times, just to see, you know, what would happen. As an example, like, you know, I did like a test. If I put my, I don't know, I say maybe I sell 10 a month and I'm looking to maybe, you know what, if I could just sell that for like 20-30p cheaper, get the buy box a bit more, then maybe I'll sell 40 or 50, and then you know, will that actually lead to more profit in the month overall? Because, you know, if I can keep getting a supply of that product, I can keep buying it, then why not try to push more of an aggressive stance? Because the overall profit's more important. You know, if I'm getting 100 quid more a month, it doesn't really matter how I get there. That's obviously the goal, isn't it? So you can also, you know, start with the default balanced. That's what I say. Always start with balance, and then you can, you know, change your tactics and play around with things later just to test the market out. But again, you don't want to be too aggressive with your testing, because if you're aggressive and it doesn't really do much in terms of sales, but you actually obviously make less money because it's bringing your buy box down, then you're making less profit over the month, and it's not really improving the overall profits, maybe decreasing it. Maybe you're taking 10-20p less or 30p, but you're not really doing any more sales, and obviously overall you're making less profit in a month. So those kind of things you have to test out, and I think it's probably better to test them on an ad hoc basis, one unit at a time, rather than across every product you sell. Because if you do that across every product you sell and then you check at the end of the month, you might realize, oh, actually I've made like 500 quid less and now I've paid the price for it. So just playing around as time progresses, not being too crazy, is probably the play that I would do, just so you're not having any major losses. But again, it could lead to major gains, but that's just the risk factor that you've got to associate and take into account with these kind of strategies. So I'm going to leave the video there. Hopefully you liked it, and I'll see you on the next one.